Welcome, everyone, to Universal Truth of Mankind. I am Dave, your host, and this is Future Forecast. Let me explain a little more about frequencies. I already did the frequency once in a previous video, and I want to go over a little bit more. In there, I taught about my experiences with frequencies, what frequencies can do. And also, I've learned that frequency, there's good and bad of frequencies as a result of all this. So we have to pay attention to the frequencies that we are surrounded by. I did speak about 5G in that. Well, it's not just 5G. It's any kind of a man-made frequency typically is not good for us. That's something that needs to be understood. um, if like electricity going through a house is a frequency, that tends to can cause issues frequency-wise with people. For example, I have a family cabin that's in the woods, and it's off grid. Now I had to run a generator sometimes in order to run my appliances, or to run the lights, maybe to watch some DVDs, things like that while we're there, recharge our batteries, and so on and so forth. But when I do that, um, I can feel I can feel it. For example, at night, sometimes we'll just shut everything off and we have a battery that runs an inverter that runs the TV and the DVD player, or just play a radio and we'll listen to the radio. Um, and I feel difference with it off. So when you go to an off-grid situation, if you pay attention, you can feel the difference, and versus when you run it. So when I come back home and I'm surrounded by electricity and frequencies, I feel it. So this is a for real thing. You should try it sometime. Also, I was talking about how we have, our phones, our smartphones, in which they produce a frequency and they receive a frequency. That frequency is potentially harmful to us. You get an EMF reader, and you can find out whether or not frequencies are harmful for you. It's a very simple science experiment. It doesn't require much effort, just a little bit of money to buy an EMF reader. And you can find safe distances you can be from the device you're at. But you also have to think in terms of a cumulative effect, where you're surrounded by a lot of low-level frequencies that may not be harmful for you, but collectively they may be harmful for you. You have to think that way as well. So grounding yourself is a way to bring yourself back to a proper frequency, because you're bringing yourself to the frequency of the earth. You can also do not only grounding, but you can also listen to various frequencies that you can, there's apps for it. There's also um, um, frequency generators you can buy, and you can play certain frequencies like 528, for instance. Just one frequency. There's tons of frequencies out there. You can learn what are good for you and what aren't. And you can play those frequencies for your benefit. It could be health benefits, it could be psychological benefits. You can use it during meditation. You can use it while you're just watching a TV, or you're watching music, listening to music. You can also play these frequencies in the background. It's not that you have to hear it per se. That's not always the case. Sometimes you simply have to permit your body to hear it, because your body is what gets all these frequencies into it. I've seen people, I know, I feel bad when people do this, but I've seen people put headphones on to listen to frequencies. And I said, "Oh, what's the frequency for?" "Oh, it's to help my aches and pains." "Oh, yeah, I have a little bit of arthritis. I'm looking to relieve it." "Okay, is there arthritis in your ears?" "No." "Oh, I had to let my body hear it." Exactly. So you have to think that way as you're going through that. Frequencies also can impact and have a lasting impact on things around you. For example, if you have a bad frequency, let's say like a microwave, a 5G phone, or anything, it could be a fan, it could be an actual fan. That frequency, you put it near your food, you put it near your supplements, you put it near your vitamins, you put it near your water, it will and can, or I should say can, and most likely will, after a certain prolonged amount of exposure, will actually corrupt the beneficial frequencies in those products. Like I said, everything's a frequency. Your food has a frequency to it. Each one of your organs has a frequency to it. Your body has a frequency to it. So to bring health back, you restore those frequencies back and you eliminate those frequencies which will harm you. And this is something we have to be proactive about. Don't believe what people say. Oh, well, according to our report, this is safe. How do you really know? You had to test out yourself. That's how you really know. Because some people are not as impacted with frequencies as others. Some people are highly impacted and some are not. It depends. It depends on the person. So each person has to make themselves a science experiment to figure out these things. Like I said, an EMF reader is very helpful in that. Do your research and so on and so forth. So what happens is, let's say you have a vitamin. A good vitamin is meant to have a certain vibration in it to help restore a vibration within your system. And the wrong frequencies around that can cancel that out. Think of it this way. Did you ever go into the pool, go into the middle of the pool and you push down on a like a ring or something like that, and you try to make waves, and you try to time your waves to a point where you can get the water to overflow the edges? As a kid, I did that all the time. I drove my friends crazy with that. You know, the parents like, stop it. But I used to do that. But I also used to try to get myself to a point where I can create an opposite wave. In other words, if I have a wave that goes up like this, I'll create an opposite wave that goes down like this. And when the two meet, what happens? They cancel each other out. And then you got a level surface for a while. I used to do that too. So that's a frequency. So these frequencies we don't see are having an impact on us. These frequencies we don't see can cancel out beneficial frequencies. You get a bad frequency against a good frequency, it could cancel it out, create a entirely new frequency. So I make sure all my supplements, my vitamins, whatever I eat is away from, for example, the phone. I take the phone, I put it aside. I don't want it near me. My iPad, my pad, tablet, my laptop, put it aside. I try not to eat in front of the computer because I don't desktop because I don't want my food to get contaminated or my water. There is a video. I've got to bring this video up. I think I have it somewhere, but I'll do a separate video on that. But what are you doing? Oh, my dog's eating a stick. Okay, so experiment on these things, keep things separated, and you'll probably find a health change in yourself by staying away from frequencies. Get out for walks, go to the park. You're surrounded by good frequencies there. Go to stay away from cemeteries. Like I said, bad frequencies. If the party you're at started getting kind of like not quite right, you can feel that the frequencies aren't getting right. Go for a walk, get out. Don't become part of that. Don't get yourself corrupted. Okay. I hope this makes sense, and I really wish you all success in this. And don't take my word for it. Test yourself and see what happens. Take care and have a great day. Shalom, shalom.